Hey guys, welcome back. I am Dr. Mindbender, and we are here with episode 2 of my Lego pet store and apartment complex. And we are going to be starting the apartment side today. Uh, as you can see, we've already got the base plate put on. We've started a little bit of a design in the front, but we're probably going to be changing that. So this is just going to be an entryway. There's going to be 3 levels of stairs. There's going to be a door probably about here-ish that would lead into the apartment. But I want to start getting this bottom part and then the front part done today. As usual, thank you to everybody that watched the first episode. Thank you to everybody that's been subscribing, leaving awesome comments. Really, really, really appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe, check out the playlist so you can see how the pet store got built from start to finish. We might even be changing a couple things inside before we're done. I do like the front of it. I do like the front. But without further ado, I'm gonna get started. I've got a bunch of beige tiles this color that I'm just gonna start building the inside of this wall, the back wall, and then the outer wall around here, and then work on a design on the front. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, there's one thing that I'm not necessarily sure I should point out, but I'm going to point it out for logistical purposes, just to be transparent. I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. I did something wrong, kind of, sort of. You can't really notice unless I point it out. I'm going to point it out. With this build, I did the base plate and I put the tile on, obviously, for the sidewalk, right? But I didn't. Let me see if I can turn this all the way around so you can really see. There you go. That's better light. I've put tile here already because I didn't, there's a 1 plate gap, as you can see. I put the base, blocks down here, so they're not sitting flush. There's 1 tile of difference, and I'm going to make up for that here on this side. So this will have to be taken into account in the height. So I'll probably have to put tile here to make up for the difference. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2, I gotta be honest, I have no idea how I'm going to construct the front entryway of this apartment building. I have never built a house structure before, something domestic. I've always been kind of superhero based, so this is going to be an interesting build. This might take a few times to get it right. So just wanted to point that thing out. Let's get started. Okay, so I have, let me turn this, a front for the first floor. And I like it. It's not bad. I have to put a door in here. I'm going to change this door out, and I got to get a better security panel. This is my first domestic building that I'm building. So this is kind of a trial run for me. You know what I mean? I've never built a structure like this before. So, I'm very much learning as I go along. But I do like the color scheme. I like, the beige with the little blue and white accent. We've also added some dog bones for the front of the pet store. And the one thing that I did forget to do, though, was to add, if I can grab it, stairs. So I have to add these stairs in here and then line it up with this plate, right there. So that's one mistake or thing that I forgot to put in. So let's add that really, really quickly And, I'm kind of thinking that I would also solidify that on the wall. And I might, just do that with actual bricks instead of, these stairs there. So it looks like one solid piece. So yeah, let me fix that and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have fixed the stairs. I've added these. I've even left a little nook under there in case I wanted to put something. And I do have, some of these newspaper stands that I can put over there in the back. Right there. I've also added 3 mailboxes because I figured this thing is going to be about 3 floors tall. And on this side is where the concierge desk will be. There will be a small desk underneath those brown snot bricks. But this is really nice. This is really nice. I'm liking how this is starting. Now, what I got to figure out is what I am going to do for the wall, because I'm not going to do, a complete transparent floor on this. I want, brick or some type of solid wall here and on the back so that there can be, TVs and pictures and other stuff. So I got to figure out what color I want that to be, whether or not I want it to be, the tan, which is this, or if I want it to be an adjacent color. And I'm thinking about maybe, I don't know, maybe dark brown and gray, maybe like the reddish brown color. And that might work. Not sure. So I'm going to have to test a couple things out, but this is all set. Now, what I do need to do is build a base plate for this side, a new base plate for this side. I have a base plate for this, and obviously you can see that, it's on there, but it's 1 tile high. So once I get that on there, that'll be perfect. So really, really, really happy about the way that this is coming out. I'm willing to change the front of this. It's still, not too late. If anybody has any good suggestions, but I do kind of like this. You might keep it. And especially once I change the doors out, I think it'll be cool. And I also might turn these vertically. Just thinking about that real quick. But I think it looks nice. So we got to start on the second floor facade. That'll match this, and then the 3rd floor. So yeah, let's make another base plate. Okay, little update. So we have started the front of the apartment building. Put a little greebling up there. I don't know if I'm going to keep that. This is just up here because I just didn't want it to fall. But, I like this. This looks pretty nice. And I found this name tag, and I thought that would be a great name for the apartments. So this is now going to be called the Leviathan Arms Apartments. Love it. Absolutely love it. So what I've also done is started building up the inside wall here, and I've started a base plate for the 2nd floor walk up. And the first thing that I realized as I am recording this live is that I didn't leave a space for the guy to walk up the stairs. There's no room. So I got to fix that. And then on the sides here and in the back, there's only 1 brick worth of space. So I'm going to have to reinforce this with 1 plate and then build it up here and then go around with the brick and everything like that. So a little bit of work to be done, but not too shabby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this right here. So leave a, an entryway so somebody can walk, and then be right back. Okay, so I have fixed the issue. Yes, this base plate is a little dirty. Yes, I will clean it off. Just needed to mock it up first. So I have now an opening so that the person can actually walk up the stairs. And I've added a door on the inside, and that's holding those two flat tiles together. So what I'm going to have to do is just brick the inside of this wall, and then do the exact same for that. And then what I'll do is I'll put an archway from here to here to make this sturdy, because right now this part isn't super sturdy. I mean, it is resting on that other base plate, but I want it to be a little bit more hardy. So I'm liking that. That's really good. We got a good start to the second floor. Let's do the front and the sides, and let's see how this was turning out. I really like this. I really like this so far. The Leviathan Arms apartment building. And already we got Joker over here casing the joint. Loving it. Loving it. Just put him right there. Absolutely loving. This looks really good. This looks really good. And I'm also liking the color palette, because it's, you know, we got the bright blue and the orange and the yellow, and then, you know, this nice tan color that's over here, which I really like, offset by the white. And then we're going to have little blue accents, as you can see in the back. But yeah, this looks really nice. It's coming together good. All right, let's keep going. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. I have to apologize. I got into a groove and I just started building, and by the time I realized what I had done and how much I had done, the floor was built, and I wasn't able to give you guys a lot of step by step into how I built this thing. But the second floor is basically complete. Okay? Technically, this is the first floor. Second floor of the building. But this thing looks pretty freaking cool. I'm liking the design in front. I've tried to use some pieces that I normally would not use. I like the 3 windows and the treatment that is over them. I'm really a fan of that treatment. And, you know, these are just some of those round stud plates with a couple studs on the ends, and then little wedge bricks on the ends. We've got a lot of nice greebling. And then on the inside, one of these fell out. Actually, both of those. Nope. If you can see the little reverse archways, or the archways that are there, I flipped those upside down. One of these slipped out. That's the problem when they're upside down, is that they really don't have anything to anchor on. But that's okay. I'm going to put something in front of them so that they don't slide out. But I'm really liking this. And then there is a cool little window that would open up if there wasn't a plant in front of it. And then we just have to do this side wall and then the back wall. So sooner or later, I'm going to have to come back in and like revamp this thing to put, you know, a bathroom. There has to be at least one bathroom, since these are going to be, you know, flat apartments. But I got to finish that back wall. We'll add some studs. I do have this that I got from, I can't even remember what build it is, but this looks like a pretty cool TV. So we'll add that to the wall, and then we'll add, you know, kitchens and sofas and a bed later. But I want to get the actual building constructed first. So let's finish that back wall. Oh, the other thing is, you know, I found 2 of these blue door frames, and I was like, man, that would look so cool if I replaced these with that. And I really want to. I really want to. But I'm thinking that to take this part off might be too much of a trudge. I do also want to show you this floor. All these floors, hold on, are modular. Let me see if I can pop it out with one hand. There we go. See what I mean? And then there's a staircase. Hold on one second. Let me turn this. You guys can get a little bit more light. Staircase that leads upstairs. And then there's that. And then we have the inside of this that sits inside. So once they go up the stairs, they get to the landing, they walk around, and then they go up the stairs here to which will be the 3rd floor. And then that sits in there. So I want you guys to leave in the comments, should I change those 2 door frames? I kind of think I should. I'm looking at it. It would add a very nice little accent. But I want to hear what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching. Next episode, we're going to get started on the 3rd floor and then hopefully finish up the 4th floor, which will be the final floor, and get this thing complete. And then we'll do the interiors of the apartments. The pet store is already complete. So yeah, really liking how this came out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Remember to leave your comments down in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.